Morning, Saturday, 6th of July. Yeah, I'm just on my walk with, I'll just show you, Willow, amazing, beautiful, wonderful creature that she is. 14 years old, I love to shout about, because that's amazing for the Weimaraner. So themes that were just coming up as I'm walking along the lane were letting go, encouraging independence, trusting that something or someone knows their own instincts, versus when to actually step in and protect them for themselves. Perhaps, yeah, I was going to say from themselves, it may be, or maybe from others. What was also striking me was that there were some posts where there's a fence and there's a big drop on the other side, and every time we walk past it, because there's some posts that are broke, and I breathe, I have a moment where I'm thinking, let her do it, she can do it of her own accord. And then occasionally, I'll be honest, there's moments where she almost gets that close, I hold my breath, my heart is in my mouth, so to speak. And then a couple of times I've thought, nah, it's too much, and I've pulled her back. Then I noticed as we were carrying on walking along, there was another steep drop, but this time it wasn't so bad. It had like water and a stream on the other side. But for her age now, her legs and her back are going a bit. So she was actually starting to reach down and try and eat the grass. And I left her for a period of time, and then she did a bit more and a bit more. And there was a moment where I just thought, yeah, this is feeling a bit uncomfortable now. So I pulled her back. And it got me sort of thinking about, you know, and that relates to animals, because I'm thinking about obviously Willow, but actually I was starting to think about people. Could be children, teenagers, you know, even adults. You know, that whole tension between at what point you allow, for example, let's say these people for a moment, you know, at what point you allow them to do their own thing, to trust that they need to stretch, need to take risks, need to learn. And that's a good thing, because it helps them develop a sense of themselves, who they are, and that whole tension between at what point you also have to put other protective factors in, but at times may not necessarily then allow the person, or the animal in this case, you know, that learning and that relying on their own resourcefulness. And I know I've had conversations with loads of people in the past about how that perhaps connects and relates to some level of resilience in life as well. So yeah, I was just sort of thinking about that. And then I was also thinking, well, Willow's now getting obviously a lot older, and so a bit like older people, sometimes you may have to step in, you know, take care of them almost to protect them from themselves, but from other animals, other creatures. And I was also thinking about how I've noticed sometimes on walks, my partner who's male, the reason I'm saying that is because at times I think he's allowed her to take more risks. And I know there is quite a lot of studies and research about you know, conditioning, if you like, of males allowing animals, children, so on, to take more risks in life generally, and that, you know, they've been enabled to play, to physically engage by rough and tumble and play, whereas perhaps for females at times there's more of a conditioning around engaging in softer play and conversations and so on. And I've done a lot of work over the years in child and adolescent psychiatry, many different groups. I've worked with a lot of young people. So yeah, and I'm not saying therefore that means that's the only answer or the only piece I'm alluding to. I'm just saying there are other things to consider when it comes to conditioning, and why you know, perhaps there is more of a tendency for some males or females to actually allow animals or people to take more or less risks. So on that note, my lovely Willow, I'm going to love you and leave you. Lots of reflections to think about, and let me know your thoughts, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.